Hello, Merrimack, and welcome to Let's Talk Merrimack. This is a show about things that are of interest around town, people and places and events. And I'm delighted today to be your guest, Rosemary Rung, and I'm here with Bob Bergen and Linda Durbin. And we're going to talk about a great event in Merrimack called the New Hampshire Hot Dogz. And it's got some very important associations. And Bob, welcome to the show, to Let's Talk Merrimack. Can you describe a little bit more about New Hampshire Hot Dogz?
Thank you. It is a privilege to be with you again. And I say again because you have been one of the key players in our team since, say, 2019. But a little background. New Hampshire Hot Dogz started in the Our Lady of Mercy Church parking lot at 16 Baboosic Lake Road in 2016. Our goal was to raise awareness and increase advocacy while sharing 300 hot dogs. The hot dog is a simple cognitive memory that most people understand. They remember the when, the where, the how, and maybe even whom they were with. Condiments are mustard, relish, onions, and some people have ketchup. We're not going to talk about them. But the colors, the flavor, the taste, as someone begins to discover the symptoms of Alzheimer's, it isn't just the hot dog, but that's the beginning of the noticeable changes that someone will begin to feel and a family will begin to feel. So the hot dog was a good choice for us to keep it simple, not a complicated menu. It was very nice when our friends at Coca-Cola decided to sponsor and we went with hot dogs and Coke. That gave us a jump. By year 3, we had 1,000 people. Last year, we had 12 to 1,500 people. 4 years ago, we started a drive-through. So we almost now have 2 locations. And we'll be talking about that more later. But we are the longest standing team in New Hampshire and one of the largest teams in New England. So I'm very proud of that. The Merrimack community has supported the event and the concept. And for those families living with the disease, they know that they're not alone.
How did you first get involved with it, Bob? Why did you pick Alzheimer's?
I lost my wife to cancer in 2013. At that time, I worked for a woman who still remained one of the most powerful women I've ever worked for, Louise Murphy. She owned Visiting Angels. Mm-hmm. She assigned me to men, vice presidents, corporate executives, who were dying with Alzheimer's. And it just drew me in. I went to her in 2016 and said, I'd like to create a longest stay team selling hot dogs. And she said, great, I'll be the hot dog sponsor. And I got a check for $200 and I hadn't done a thing. And that was it. If I could get people like that, and then I found 15 people, and then I found more and more. And people bought into it, and they believed we were accomplishing something. We were bringing people together. So it was just a lucky evolution of good things, and now it's beyond anything I would have imagined, and I'm honored to say that Linda and Greg will be running with the hot dog roll in the future.
So Linda, this is big shoes to fill for you.
Definitely. I'm not sure what size shoes they are, but they are definitely big shoes. When Greg started helping about 5 or 6 years ago with setup and some other things for Bob the day of the event. And then in 2023, Bob mentioned the idea of having a drive-through and that would be separate from the main tent or the walk-up tent where people can purchase their lunch and be seated on the grounds. We were kind of convinced by Bob that it would be easy, so we said yes to managing the drive-through, even though we had no idea what it would do. But it was fun, and we learned a lot. And the drive-through has been very successful, and we owe that to many, many, many enthusiastic, passionate, and hardworking volunteers.
That's what I noticed a lot about that event is just the community spirit and the volunteerism. How many volunteers does it take to run that event?
We need about 25 for Wednesday, because that's the transfer of picnic tables from the Legion, the setup of the tents. And on Thursday, probably another 40 or 50.
Right.
And then we need another, though, 20 at least to come back Thursday night to take everything back down. The town of Merrimack has been, two people that have really helped us is the town of Merrimack and the library. All the tables come from the town. The chairs come from the church. That's a 50% reduction in what we got to do. And then the American Legion donates their picnic tables for the day. So a lot of really good things have evolved. So
Yeah. It's great to see the involvement of Our Lady of Mercy Church because they prepare the hot dog. They cook the hot dogs in their kitchen.
well, they used to.
Oh, okay.
This will be a very interesting, it'll be, I won't say it's a competition, but last year, for the first time, a man named Carl Ellis, who owns First Gear Driving School, grilled 1,000 hot dogs outside, adjacent to Linda and Greg's operation. And the KSC, with John Murphy and his crew, grilled about 1,200 hot dogs in the church basement. Well, this year we're going all out. Everybody's going to be outside. So we're going to have the Rotary Club on one side and the Knights of Columbus on the other, two teams, grilling. I think, I give them credit. It's their idea, and I think it'll be great.
I think it's great too. I'm
So
looking
it will
forward
be,
to
it will be, it's still going to be, the Our Lady of Mercy Church parking lot is just the largest flat, multi-directional piece of land that we could be using. Never did I think we would exceed, it just doesn't make any sense to me. We would need two parking lots because people come, they stay, they meet, they talk to people, and people dealing with the disease enjoy themselves. And that's pretty hard to believe we've made something that good.
Yeah, well, there's a lot of camaraderie because you'll see people that you may only see at that event. So it's a really nice way to keep the fabric of the community strong.
But look at yourself. We have 5 state reps that walk around all day. People don't get that opportunity every day. Someone with a special need or some requirement can walk up to you and you'll sit down with them.
Oh, absolutely.
They don't need an appointment.
Yeah.
You know,
And it's important to, for a representative, whether it's state rep or even town council, to be able to have an opportunity to meet and talk with people that they represent.
Well,
That's
town council we put to work.
yeah. Well, tell me, how much money have you raised like last year?
Last year was just a tad over 19,000.
Wow.
Our total is rather astounding. There's only 2 teams in New England that have done it. We are at 102,000, and Lexington is at 102.4. They've got us by a couple of $100.
So that's over the 10 years, right?
Over the 10 years.
Yeah,
So by the fact that we both broke 100,000 the same year was kind of interesting. And they do things like we do. It's very community oriented. So our team has generated, with a lot of corporate donations, a lot of people donating on the day of the event. And it's interesting. $5 covers the hot dogs. And then, as Greg could say, because I'm not physically standing with customers, people often double that. They'll leave $10, or they'll leave a larger donation, or they can show up on that day. All checks get made out to the Alzheimer's Association. So if you're going to make a check out, you could buy your hot dogs and add another $10 to your check, and we'll accept that because we deposit, or she will, that's her job this year. Somebody has to be our depositee, and that's Linda. So that all the checks will be deposited that day. And the director of Alzheimer's for New Hampshire is at our event to help us with all of that transaction. So 100% of what we get is immediately deposited to the Alzheimer's Association the same day.
Well, I volunteer as a cashier, and I've seen that firsthand, where people will come and just give a $10 and just say, keep the change. The other thing that I'm really impressed about is all the businesses that will provide vouchers for their employees to buy lunch, which is great. It's a way of getting them really involved.
That's I was explaining it to Linda and Greg. I said, I never know which companies are going to do it each year, but we end up with business cards inside the donation buckets, and 3 or 4 of them give me an extra 100 at the beginning of the day, and they'll say, I put the check in, and oh, okay. So then I've got to remember that they're going to do that. I mean, maybe they just want to say thank you to their employees. I mean, I give the 2 guys that plow the corner of my driveway a little extra my card and said, the hot dogs are on me. And they don't use it, but it is something that a business could do. They could work out with Linda or Greg or I that they're going to give their business cards. Edward Jones does it. Visiting Angels does it. Fimble does it. So we don't get a lot of them, but maybe we get 25 or 30, and that's still somebody participating.
Okay. And we also accommodate a lot of, let's say, orders in advance. We have many area businesses and a couple of organizations that have already placed orders for the day.
Yes.
And given us a time that they'll pick up, and we try to get that all ready and have it ready at the drive-through. And, you know, we try to be as accommodating. A lot of us don't have experience as what used to be called car hops back in the day at the root beer stand, but we do a pretty good imitation at the drive-through.
Yeah. Well, now you have to get roller skates, right, and skate up to them.
Right.
Yeah,
Well,
No, she's now the boss.
Oh yeah.
She's the boss.
So Linda, tell me, let's back up. How did you get involved with this fundraiser? Did you have experience or family interaction with someone
Greg
with
and I
Alzheimer's?
both did. Our grandmothers and my mother experienced Alzheimer's, and we ended up being caregivers. So we're pretty much in the mix. The other thing is, last year Bob mentioned he would like to gracefully retire from the event, and that maybe 2025 would be the last year, and he hoped others would like pick up the ball and run with it. So there. Actually, during the event that day, there was a lot of mumbling going on along the lines of, well, the show must go on. And myself and my husband Greg and Dave Brown decided, well, we'll partner with Bob this year and kind of transition it over, not knowing how many details there are both behind the scenes and the 2 days of the event. But we like to have fun. We like the idea of bringing the community together, and we have a reason.
Oh, that's wonderful. And all the money goes to the Alzheimer's Association.
Right.
And
99.9.
And I've had experience with them myself because I was a part-time caregiver for my mother-in-law who suffered from Alzheimer's. And the association was a great support. I mean, they were one of the first numbers I called when my father-in-law was kind of struggling on how to manage to keep her at home. And can you tell us some of the things, your experience with the association, some of the things that you do with the money?
I've heard it said from many people will walk up to us and, oh my God, when I call Alzheimer's, they call me right back. Well, yeah, there's a reason, and the reason is they come to our event. They hang around, they answer questions. We don't have any shortage of brochures. We don't have any shortage of anything. And because of our advocacy on our individual community basis, the people at the Bedford, New Hampshire corporate office are sensitive to what our requests might be. And they're also, in many, many ways, desirous of knowing how could it work, if it were to work comfortably. So that's what's happening with us. You know, people can call them, get an answer. We have brochures at the library, the police station, the church. There's almost no lack of public data that you can get in our town. So we have an advantage of so many people that have supported Alzheimer's in general. So.
Well, and the other thing is the Alzheimer's Association website. Even I'll say back in the day when Greg were helping and I were helping family members with this, just the general information and the statistics help you realize how many people are affected by this. And you have to multiply that exponentially. If a family member is experiencing it, then there are probably 5 or 6 other family members, caregivers involved just for that one person. Mm-hmm. So some of the information and statistics help you realize you're not in an isolated situation, that maybe this has been happening for years, but now we know this about it, and now we know that about it, and we can help with this, and we can help with that. So the resources and the information, I think, are very, very valuable because, like I said, it helps you realize there's a whole ALZ world out there with resources.
Absolutely. And even, I think 2 things that impress me about the work that you do is that by supporting the Alzheimer's Association, you're making people feel less alone, because they know they have some kind of a support group that can help them figure out how to navigate that disease. And also, in my experience, it's important because they provide information that we can share with others, like with neighbors.
Right.
It's oftentimes Alzheimer's patients want to go back home, or they don't realize they're at home, or they may wonder. And it's so important to let the community come together to support them and know that these are things that might happen. So this person may not just be going out for a walk. Could you just let their family know that they need to go back? So I think those kind of things, it's an education that it's very difficult for them to learn on their own. So having people like you to help spread the information, and an organization that this is their mission in life is to support people with Alzheimer's is so important.
The word visibility comes to mind because when they arrive, they see you. Oh, I know you. Or they see Linda. Oh, I know you. And all of a sudden in their own, this is the caregiver. Oh, I know that person. Oh, let's go sit over there. And they can be themselves for maybe 2 hours. And they can see people they haven't seen in a while. And their family member is sitting there. No one even knows. When you're at the Alzheimer's event, you can't pick out the people who have the disability. You can't see it because it's all blended into one big visible event. That's the joy for the caregivers, because that's one of our goals, and that's one of the things that is neat. That person who's sitting there with the symptoms or the disability or the disease, how you would choose to phrase it, you can just sit there for a couple of hours and chill and have a Coke and we forgot to mention we also have dessert now. But she'll go into that a little later. But, we have things and I think that's the beauty of it. They can be visible. They don't have to worry about what other people are going to say or what other people are going to do, and they can just
be.
They can be themselves. They can sit in the shade. They can sit in the alley, and that's the beauty of having a new enterprise decision process, because when people come, and it's kind of like an anniversary date. It's the last Thursday in June, and people come. People that have lost their loved one still come because they want to see the other people.
And it is. Having that community is so important.
Yeah.
Bob, you mentioned about how some people may not exhibit outright symptoms of Alzheimer's. And can you talk a little bit about legislation that was passed a few years ago?
Yes.
Because there was a special...
One of the really cool things, the lady who's a public policy director for Alzheimer's up in Bedford, Mackenzie Hutchinson, she contacted me one day and she said, Bob, I got a message from the governor's office. He wants to sign House Bill 414 FN, redefining the definition of Alzheimer's at your event. I said, not my event, it's our event. Oh, okay. And on that day, I had a fire truck all set up and a table, and Chris shows up, and this is his 6th year coming, so it wasn't new for him. And all the people from Alzheimer's showed up, and their eyes were like, there's just a crowd of people. What do you mean there's another, what's the drive? They walk over to the president of Alzheimer's, walking over to the drive-through, and then he's coming back and he's looking around. But for Chris Sununu, this was just something because his mother had Alzheimer's. But the law was extremely important. And this is the pen that I treasure that Chris Sununu used to sign it. And one of your colleagues got me a plastic container and a note. And no, Linda, you're not going to have this. That's one of my things I kept. But it was almost, I didn't get into the picture. And people are all saying, come over and get in the picture. Well, I was already standing back crying. Because I'm standing there going, we didn't just sell hot dogs. Now we have told all the family members and all the people of Merrimack, the governor of our state is signing a piece of Alzheimer's permanent law legislation in front of us. And it's really the highlight of 10 years of work. But the law was this change. ADRD is the abbreviation for Alzheimer's disease and related disorders. To amend RSA 161F-66, it will read as follows, and this is the official state document. ADRD, Alzheimer's disease and related disorders, means conditions for which an individual receives a differential diagnosis of Alzheimer's disease or similar irreversible dementia, or for which an individual demonstrates symptoms of Alzheimer's disease or similar irreversible dementia to an extent that it interferes with activities of daily life. The difference is you didn't need a final diagnosis, you needed the symptoms. That was a game changer for families. That was a game changer for doctor's appointments. That was a game changer for maybe the tau test. That was a game changer for realizing that you don't need all of the symptoms. If you have some of the symptoms, the state law is now going to get you the opportunity to find out, take the next step, do the blood tests. And that was a biggie. Not realizing how big it was, because the tau test, which is the blood test for early dementia, hasn't yet been finalized by the FDA. So the tau test, blood test, was 2 years later. So New Hampshire was ahead of the game by 2 years, saying that when the insurance companies didn't have a choice, they will now honor that. So it was very, very, very important. You and your colleagues were there, and it was special. But I was a mess. I was just like, holy crap! I didn't think we'd ever get this far. I didn't think we'd do that, you know. Yeah. And for me, it was like, yes, it was a happy day. But for all those people who are, maybe they have a relative who had the disease, or maybe they had a parent, or someone showing the early signs. You know, friends like Greg think I have it because I don't remember what day of the week it is, or, you know, I can't remember this or that, but I'm 80. You know, I'm 80 and I'm going to have what I have. But the beauty of that legislation was 2 years ahead of itself. It's really nice to see the New Hampshire legislators push to get that, instead of saying conditions by which, it's conditions for which. And that's cool. That's very, very, that's something that's very important. And it was announced to the public of New Hampshire at the New Hampshire Hot Dog event in Merrimack. And that was what was really, for me, it was like, oh my God, did we just do this? Did this just happen?
Well, it goes to show how important that event is.
A little event with hot dogs.
Right. So Linda, tell us more about the event this year. Can you give specifics, people watching that are really interested in going?
Yeah, we have some information here, but we'll be gathering, grilling hot dogs, and inviting all of you to come on Thursday, June 25th. We open at 11 a.m. We hope to have enough food to go to 5 to 6 p.m. We'll be at the Our Lady of Mercy Church parking lot, and that's 16 Baboosic Lake Road in Merrimack. Rain or shine, we will be there. We will be accepting cash and Venmo this year. Venmo at both stations, the walk-up and the drive-through. We have outdoor seating, canopies, shade for over 100 people. So your hot dog lunch is a complete meal. It's 2 hot dogs plus chips and a drink for $5. It's a bargain. So if we have a lot of families who come through the drive-through between 4 and 6 o'clock, and mom and dad or the person du jour, the help du jour, have been out and about all day and they've got another event to go through. We've had families drive through and say, I need dinner for 6 people, and they're all in the car because they're on the way to the next event. So we can help with that.
No, it's just wonderful. I can't wait to attend again this year, and I want to encourage everyone in Merrimack, if you are around, please come and have a hot dog and help support the New Hampshire Alzheimer's Association at the same time. And Bob and Linda, I'm so glad that you came. Is there anything you want to close with?
One little thing. I'm not ashamed to have the picnic basket out. If you are an employee or you work at a restaurant or a business, we always need more condiments. We always need little things to make ourselves successful. Yes, we have DW Diner. Yes, we have Thirsty Moose. Yes, we have Buckley's.
Coca-Cola.
You know, but we still need more condiments this year. We need to guarantee ourselves we could use a few gift cards from the grocery stores, because during the day, if we run into a crisis, Linda has to have a few, let's say, $50 gift cards to this Market Basket, Shaw's, whatever. So if someone is looking to say, well, I can't attend, but I'd like to donate something, the something can be as simple as a gift card to a grocery store. We don't have a raffle. We don't have a big jumbo situation. But we do have situations that occur that we run out of onions. Okay, somebody go get onions. Here's a card. Go get this. It's a fluid way. I also will meet with any business that wants to understand about our banner program. We have over 40 Merrimack businesses whose business banners will be displayed both at the drive-through entrance on School Street and in the 16 Baboosic Lake Road parking lot. These are 12 by 36 banners, small, and they are 24 by 36 large banners. And when you start seeing your fellow businesses being advertised for a day and a half to 1,000 people, you realize it's a good benefit for your business. So if you've got some interest in supporting Alzheimer's, we're looking for we're not doing condominium donations. Yeah. Condiments. And if somebody's in a restaurant and they said, well, I'll donate 500 hot dogs. Well, welcome 500 hot dogs, because right now we have two really good supporters, DW Diner and Thirsty Moose, and we get about 2,500 hot dogs from those two businesses, which is wonderful. Except that if Greg keeps selling more at the drive-thru, last year we needed 2,700. That little detail of needing another 200 or 300 of something at 3 o'clock in the afternoon is...
So the best way, Linda, is to contact you with donations or offers to help is your email?
Right, and we have the information for the website, the QR code, our webpage, and we have a group email address. All of that information is here, so reach out to us. We'd love to have you join us. We'd love to have you help us.
Oh, excellent. So please, Merrimack, come out and support this great event, and we will see you on June 25th.
11 a.m.
June 25th, 11 a.m. Thank you so much for coming.
Thank you, Rose, as always.
Good to see you. And thank you for taking over, Linda. Great.